Je n'ai pas peur de la route, faudra voir, faut qu'on écoute des méandres creux des reins et tout ira bien.
The vision was to have us live the life of a homeless person in the streets of Paris, which includes us begging and trying to find somewhere to sleep in order to meet the basic levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We chose this topic because as students we often forget how fortunate we are to have our basic needs and health issues addressed, and we wanted to see how many of the levels we could fulfill as a homeless person. We had a hard time being inconspicuous with the camera, and when people saw us with a camera, they didn't believe that our beggar was real. And also we had a hard time communicating with our beggar as far as where to sit and when we were ready to leave. We tried filming in more populated areas so we could blend in better with our camera. And also we came up with signals like dropping coins or bills in the beggar's tray to communicate. Suggestions for signals we could use? Why don't we walk by and put in like a 10 or something?
Okay. Just keep track of how much money you're putting in.
Well, if you only put in the 110, we'll know.
Well, that's why we put in a 10, because if we walk by earlier and people aren't getting it, we'll put in like some change. If we walk by and put in a 10, then it's time to go.
Okay.
We took Lauren's white nightie and we used some of our dark makeups that we typically wore to make a synthetic dirt, and then also took the makeups that we typically wore as college students and used them in the way to make synthetic dirt on our faces as well to give a more rugged and less perfection look.
Ton message à la grande eau, c'est la trajectoire de la course à l'instantané, le vélo, même s'il ne sert à rien.
Is it attractive?
Le vent l'emportera.
On me dit que nos vies ne valent pas grand-chose.
My experience begging during the day was very difficult. I felt worthless and like a piece of trash because everyone just walked by and didn't even look at me.
On me dit que le temps qui glisse est un salaud, que de nos chagrins il s'en fait des manteaux. Pourtant quelqu'un m'a dit.
I was ignored, people walked past me, people even kicked the box that I was begging in, and there were a lot more used towards me, whereas here it was more of a helpful view where people had more time in their daily lives to stop and look at people who are underneath them who need help, and they try to help them. So that was definitely an observation to keep in mind. And the Eiffel Tower had way too many tourists that did not understand that begging is a huge issue in Paris as much as the locals would.
I was almost excited to do it because I really wanted to get outside of my comfort zone and my luxury, and for the simple 30 minutes to see what it was truly like to be someone that didn't have the luxuries that most of us take for granted today. So those were kind of what I was expecting, was to feel what the other side was like. When I actually begged, what I thought I was going to feel was not entirely what I did feel. I was thinking more on the lines of what they were feeling. Like, for example, my back was hurting me due to the concrete and no back support, and then my thoughts drifted into what healthcare was like, or the lack of, for a lot of the people on the streets.
Some women approached me and tried to hand me money and help me dial 115 for help, which I felt really guilty taking their money, but it was really heartwarming that people would try to help me who didn't even know me.
Wasted Tea!